Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/infidelity, where OP found out that his wife of 16 years have never actually been loyal to him the entire time. Let's begin. My wife cheated in front of our son, posted by Reddit user Proctor with.
My soon-to-be ex-wife and I are both 26 and we have a 5-year-old son and 10-month-old girl together. I work as one of the managers at an IT company whilst she works as a receptionist at a hospital. She hasn't been working much due to pregnancy and maternity leave. I'm quite an outgoing person whereas she is quite introverted and only really enjoys spending time with close family members, her family plus me and the children and friends she's known since childhood. On Saturday, July 1st, 2023, an ex-employee from my place of work, age 23, came to my house thinking I would be around because he knows I don't work on Saturdays. He wanted to give me important documents that I had left at his house the previous day when we were discussing work-related matters. My wife opened the door and didn't know who he was, so he explained himself that he works for me and then she allowed him inside and offered him coffee whilst he waits for me. I was at my parents' house 5 miles away. This is what happened next according to this ex-employee as best I can remember him saying over the phone 2 days ago. This is our conversation. Employee: do you know about me and your wife? Me: what do you mean? Explain. Employee: remember that day last month when you weren't home, and I came to drop off documents and sorry, because I should have called you beforehand. Me: yes, so what? Employee: after your wife invited me in and offered to make coffee, we began to talk and quickly bonded over literature. She was very friendly, and I know what I'm about to tell you was very wrong of me to do, but we started kissing and your son who came into the living room at that moment then asked who I was, and she told him not to worry, that he should just go watch TV. We then went upstairs and, slept together. Me: are you joking? Because if you're just trying to cause trouble, don't. Employee: no, it's not a lie. I just thought I would tell you because that little boy saw his mother with someone else, and years down the line if you ever did find out, I wouldn't want you to think that I scared a little boy without caring. Remember that your wife is the married one, not me. I didn't force her. Me: I don't believe you at all. Employee: that is why I resigned the 7th of July, because I didn't know whether you knew or not and would rather resign than have a sacking on my record. Me: I'll ask her and if true, I'll deal with you appropriately. Employee: okay, but like I said, I didn't force her nor did I do anything illegal. You won't hear from me again, sorry. I was livid with anger and hurt at the same time. This is an employee who only started working for me in May and I'm certain she never even knew he existed up until that day. I asked her, who denied it at first, but then owned up to what happened after she realized the severity of the situation, including the employee quitting. She said she was very sorry and doesn't know what came over her. I then said, apparently our son saw you, and then she began crying. I said to her that I was going to stay with my parents for a few days whilst I decided what to do. My parents and even her family members too are very supportive of me and do not condone what she did. I've seen my son on FaceTime and baby daughter too, and told them that I will be with them soon. I've decided that there is no coming back from this and will definitely get a divorce from my wife, but the only issue is custody and finances. I don't want to be like the many men who get a divorce due to the fault of their wives, only to lose the house and only see the kids on the weekends. How do I go about this to ensure I don't lose the house and that I see my kids as equally, if not more than her? I live in England, by the way.
OP, she was too casual with fucking a complete stranger in your own house with the children being there for this to be the first time. Can you just imagine what she would do if someone offered to change her flat tire if she was stuck at a store or something? OP, seriously, don't waste any more time with her. I'm sorry this happened to you, man, but get your kids' DNA tested as well. And now for today's second story. I just found out that my wife has been cheating on me. We have been together for 16 years. Posted by Reddit user Harper2.
In 2021, I was diagnosed with leukemia. I went from entering the ER because I woke up blind to being on a life flight to Seattle with less than a week to live, all within 3 hours. I've been on daily oral chemo ever since. The treatment and experience have been awful. It makes me tired, bloated, gray-haired, brain-fogged. It's a long, agonizing list of shit. Fall of 2022, my wife suffered sudden cardiac arrest in the middle of the night. I gave her CPR until the paramedics arrived. I'll never forget when I stopped giving CPR so I could give her one last kiss before she was officially declared dead. I will never forget when they defibrillated her for the first time, and I heard the words "still no pulse." Those fucking words rang in my head like a fucking gong. The charge nurse broke protocol and let me sleep in the room with her during COVID because after she woke up from her coma, she would ask to call me every night delusional and scared, wanting the nurses to find me. I was there from the ICU to the cardiac unit to inpatient therapy over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Apparently, my CPR was good enough. She made a full recovery. Unfortunately, these incidents left me with some gnarly PTSD on top of dealing with the effect of chemo. It turns out that she had a drinking problem that led to the cardiac arrest, so I paid to fly her to a sober women's retreat in the Dominican Republic. A couple weeks after she got back, my grandma died. I really needed her to come with me to the East Coast, but she wanted some alone time. Now I know why. A list of shit is much longer, but I feel like this is enough to paint the picture. I read one day's worth of messages between them. My wife laughing about how my stamina and libido isn't what it used to be. My chemo causes low testosterone. I got my testosterone checked and it was 129 ng divided by DL. I started enclomiphene 2 weeks ago to get my test back. I'm meeting with my sketchy cash-only testosterone provider next week and I'm just gonna say, fuck it. Turn me into a gorilla. I have been dealing with this for months. My wife knew this and knew that I was fixing it, but thought it was hilarious to share it with this guy. We met in high school in 2008. She transferred from another school because of bullying and shitty people. She ended up knowing some of my friends from previous schools and I was immediately drawn to her. I was well liked, prom king, did well academically, and our relationship and friend group started to give her confidence, which was amazing to watch happen. Then we went to college in 2010. She followed me admittedly to the college I was going to, even though she knew she wanted to break up during the summer before so she could have an unbridled college experience. It hurt. I didn't want to break up, but I 100% understood her reasoning and motivation. This is when I missed my first sign that I was going to end up as a cuck. I was 18, girls liked me, so I said screw it. She found out I made out with someone else and not only fucked with my head, but texted and threatened the girl I made out with. By the way, unnamed girl, if you somehow end up reading this, I am so sorry for how things happened. You were an unbelievable sweetheart and I was the dumbest 18-year-old on the planet. I was rooting for her to kick life's next step's ass. I found out later that her plan was to fall back on my shoulders if things didn't work out. They did not. We got back together. I took multiple classes with her that had nothing to do with my major, just so I could more effectively tutor her. I even took an entire online class for her. She had an incredibly low libido for the first 13 years of our relationship, so she came up with a deal that if I got a 4.0 she would have sex with me. I got a 4.0 and no sex was had. The worst part is the day I was rejected, a girl on my floor texted me that she wanted to fuck me right now. My reaction was to show the text to my wife, girlfriend at the time, immediately. Dumb 19-year-old shit. Very rare sex was hard, but I loved her so stupid fucking much. I missed out on so much fucking. Fuck. Moving on to senior year of college, 2014, I had a burden of major depression and had to retake a quantum mechanics class. This meant another year until I could graduate. So, I decided to move back to our hometown where she moved back to and finish up school there. That meant 2 more years because of transfer requirements. I said screw it and went with chemistry plus biochemistry, all while working full-time so we could live together in our rental. Right after I graduated in 2016, she wanted to go back for grad school. I enthusiastically supported it even though I knew that meant 2 years of doing the cooking, cleaning, homework, and little time together. I was so proud when she graduated. Right after grad school in 2018, she decided she wanted to quit her job in her field to sell wedding dresses. I gotta say, this one had me internally like WTF, but if it made it happy, I supported her. Late shifts and off schedules meant cooking and cleaning were mine, again. We began house hunting in 2019. I like modern, she likes old. We buy an old house. Massive basement flood day one of having the keys. I will admit, I was a crabby bitch about this. COVID hits and she gets a job back in her field. COVID related. She starts struggling with the stress of this job. Eventually, a job at my work opens up that is in her field. I was still the golden boy at my job at this time, and my reputation helped. 2 months after she started was the cardiac arrest and my downfall. And then we are at the beginning of this story. Grand finale. She met this piece of shit on Reddit. It took all of my willpower to not look at his username because I really have nothing left to lose. So if you're the asshole who has been messaging Reddit user mHavy, this is why she deleted her account. I've known for months, I just needed proof. I heard you're married, too. FYI, if she doesn't know, she's gonna. Annotation. Post made on phone and not proofread. Edit. I showed her this post, and for the first time in this saga, she was completely unable to come up with any rebuttal or bullshit. This is only about 10%, and arguably a flattering summary of her behavior. The best she could come up with was that she didn't immediately leave me or cheat on me when I was diagnosed with cancer. But she loved telling me how many likes she has gotten from my woes. If anyone wants to give me money to write a book about how shitty this person is, I promise to do a good job.
Hey there everyone, future PattSun here. So apparently OP has posted an update for his post, but unfortunately, the post has been deleted and the video was already created by that time. So instead, here is a comment exchange between OP and other Reddit users.
Get your ducks in a row. I barely survived the last 16 months. I'm looking at a 1 to 50 chance at 2025, I'd say. Then go out with a bang. Take all the money, sell everything you can. Use that money too. Go spend it all on experiences. I think I'm gonna sell the house, take the $300,000 in equity, treat my homies to crazy memories, and then boom. I read all that and man, fuck everything and just go have some fun. Sounds like you could use it. The optimist in me says just keep a little something set aside, just in case you do make that 1 in 50. Good luck, bro.
Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.